Today we've got a bunch of snakes. 31 snakes, 2 different species. I've never got this many animals in one day before, so I'm gonna show you and set them up, and I'm nervous. A couple of months ago, I drove down to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to meet my good friend Garrett Hartle at his place, Reach Out Reptiles. Garrett spent the day showing me some of his coolest reticulated pythons, the super dwarfs I absolutely love. We even got Karma, the 22-foot reticulated python, out and about and all over the rafters, and it was quite the experience. But what really got my attention are these things, house snakes. So when Garrett casually said, "Hey, you should take like 30 of these home," I said, okay, but I live in Canada, so shipping back and forth over the border has always been a problem until today. Okay, I fibbed a bit. I'm not really that nervous. I'm more excited than anything else, but it is true. I've never actually opened a box with this many snakes in it. What's crazy is these 2 boxes are the same size, well, roughly the same size, pretty darn close. In this top box, there's 1 snake. In this box, there's 30. So I assume that the house snakes are packaged together. The interesting thing about house snakes is they are gonna look different even though they're all normals, or whatever Garrett sent me. So we're gonna open the first box first. So a giant thanks to Chad for sending me this snake. And the idea was we're testing their new shipping method from the US to Canada, which by the way, worked perfectly. There's a lot of shipping companies out there that you can ship your reptiles with. Ship your reptiles, see what I did there? But there's only one that I know of that can get your reptiles from the US to Canada, and that is Ship Your Reptiles, and it worked perfectly. I'm gonna open these boxes and the snakes will be alive, so I can confirm. So we're gonna open that one first. This one is from Ship Your Reptiles. So this one's from Colorado. It made it here in a day. Super easy. It was basically the same process as if I were shipping an animal from Canada to Canada. You know, I've always wanted to do an unboxing video because I always like those ones that that kid did where he used the sword and stuff. I might go get a saw. Oh, he's so cute. So this is a tiny baby. Oh, Trish is here, by the way. You can see very, say hi, Trish. Oh, hi. This is a tiny baby rhino rat snake. So I've got several of these already. These are what ours look like right now, and this is what this baby looks like right now because they start out like this steel gray color. Female pooped in the thing because that's what they always do. Now, if you open up a box and if you open up a container and they poop inside of the container, that's totally okay. That's just, they do that. There's gonna be a lot of poop in the other box, I'm pretty sure. So I have this rack behind me. You guys know I don't use racks as permanent setups for animals. Not that I'm vilifying racks or anything. There could be a whole video if you want. However, if you know a better way of quarantining 30 snakes, let me know. I'm open to ideas. But for that, well, because we have 80 snakes or 80 animals coming in a few months. But anyway, this is how we do it. This is how we quarantine them very quick. I'm not gonna bore you. So these look bare right now. We're gonna put the animals in here and then we're gonna go back later and put all the water because it's easier to have a bucket up here and just scoop and put it in here. And then we're gonna put a little hide, which will be a little paper towel roll, and that's it. And this is how we're gonna quarantine them for probably 3 months, maybe 4. Now, rhino rat snakes, of course, are semi-arboreal animals, so keeping them in a rack system like this, I wouldn't recommend for very long. In fact, I'll probably set her up in something a little bit taller for even the quarantine. But for the first few days anyway, I wanna make sure that she's, you know, in the same rack system, in controlled temperature. For this box, I'm gonna need some help. So welcome to lovely Trish. If you're gonna write a comment, "Wow, your wife is taller than you," it's already been said, but I'll still like the comment and don't. Okay. Each one of these looks a little bit different. So this species is Capensis. So there's a few different species. Fuglies is the other one. I'll write it right here. Some of these guys have like crazy looking eyes and patterns, and one of these looks like a freaking spotted python. So we've got 4, 8, 12 of these to open. So which means that there's probably like 3 snakes in each or so. Because there's 30 in here. And then there's one surprise that Garrett sent me, and it's the same species, but if you want to guess what morph it is, I would love for you. I don't know why I'm like crouching down and you're like towering out of the frame. While Trish is opening this first one, I want to let you know how I keep track of all of them. So I write their names, of course, but also Husbandry Pro, who's the sponsor of today's episode. Thank you guys so much for making the best technology in reptiles. Period. It's not even close. This is how I put them into the system, and this is how I know who each one is. And when I go to sell these, if the person I sell them to has Husbandry Pro, I can transfer it over so they don't need to put it in manually, and they get my records of their sheds and their poops and every time they eat and their weights. All of that gets transferred over like a digital business card. You know, if you're an iPhone user, you share a contact, it's like that, but with your snake. Plus there's feeding notifications, which I love. Now these guys are small, but some of them are bigger. So some of these animals are gonna eat once every 7 days. Some of them are gonna eat maybe twice a week. Some of them will eat every 10 days. And I'll know based on what they weigh, putting them in the system, I'll get a notification the day before, hey buddy, it's time for you to thaw some rodents for these specific animals. Then I just quickly check them off, that's it. You can make labels that are printable with QR codes for all of your animals. Husbandry Pro, I could go on forever. You guys are freaking awesome. That's how I'm gonna keep track of all of these snakes. So hit the link below to start your free trial. And remember, under 6 animals is always free at Husbandry Pro. Those ones are like crazy red. So what I love about the Capensis, these specific house snakes, is just they're so pretty and they're so nice. Of all of the animals on Earth that you could possibly have in terms of snakes, these don't act like any other snake. They act so unbelievably different. They're not a colubrid. You're looking at these animals and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, this is the same thing as like a corn snake, except for the African version, and kinda, sorta, but they have a python face. Their face looks like a mini Burmese python, and the way they act is more python-esque too. The way that they move around and they're scoping things out. And these animals, of course, are more like red color. So they have this coloration within the species that's gonna be different to everything else we open. We'll open these ones a little bit quicker, and we are gonna do another unboxing video, which is gonna be like, how many species is it? Like 30 different species? Oh my. Container number 2, we've got 2 males in here. One of them is pretty red, the other one is in shed. I'm a rippity wrapper. We'll set these up and move on to case number 3. And for those of you keeping count, actually in the comment section below, guess how many containers are gonna have poop in them. So far, it's 2 out of 2. By the way, these have been in for a day. These have been in for 1 day. It's not like they've been in there for a week. 2 out of 2 poops. Container number 3, these are still 2 at a time. So we're getting to the ones that have 2 at a time. These ones have almost like a weird speckly coloration, and these are the same species and technically same locale, so these aren't any different. They're all the same, but they all look very different, which is kind of cool because one of these looks just like a house snake and the other one kind of looks like a children's python almost. No poop in number 3, so we're 2 out of 3 so far for the poop count. Number 4. In cup number 4, one of them had these bright stripes on its face and the other one had a darker head. If I didn't know any better, I would assume they're different localities, but these snakes are from the exact same place. Number 4 also had poop, so we're 3 out of 4 now. I guess it scared the poop out of them. Number 5, this is 5, has 4 snakes in it, so let's get into this one because these are all males. Wow, and they're so different looking. As I opened container after container, it became very clear to me why Garrett fell in love with this species. They're variable. Even these normal snakes, they're all supposed to be normal and they all look like they're different morphs or localities, but they're not. And that is the exciting thing about African house snakes. Not just that they have that cool python face with a colubrid body, but they're neither. The way that they look around, and you can tell that that brain of theirs in their skull really has the wheels moving, but also they're each individual and unique. The very last one, this is the one that I'm really excited about. Now, when I bought the 30 snakes from Garrett, it was normals, hey, give me some pretty ones that look a little bit different. What I didn't ask for and I didn't pay for, but thank you, Garrett, for being so kind, is a special surprise, which is what we have in here, which is this guy right here. This is a 50% KZN, which is a locality. It's 1.0, which means it's a male, and it's T-positive albino, which is the type of albinism that he has. And of course, there was poop in the very last one. So that brings our total to 10 out of 12 with poop. I promise they put the snakes in without the poop. Big question, why the heck did I buy 30 of the same snake? Well, the good reason is I live in Canada and there are no Capensis here. There just aren't. And the ones that you do find are wild caught. These are all captive bred in the US, so I know they don't have parasites, I know where they come from, I know they're cared for well, and that makes them more valuable, not monetary wise, but just in general to the population. As a pet, they're just a better pet than something that comes in wild caught, you don't know where it came from, maybe it has parasites. These things started their life in Pittsburgh and ended up right here in Canada. Also, I plan to open up and sell some of these. So if you're Canadian, because I'm going to be selling, if you're American and you want them, I mean, go to Reach Out Reptiles. If you're Canadian and you want one of these, just message me. I'm not gonna sell the albino one, obviously. But I'm gonna sell probably 10 or 15 of these, and the rest I'm gonna try to breed and see what I can do and see if I can create something. Maybe Garrett sent me some stuff that have some hidden hets. That's the thing with these reptiles, is oftentimes you'll breed something and maybe it's het for albino or het for something else and you didn't know until you bred it out. And in general, I think that house snakes are one of the best pets that you could possibly own. I mean, you can treat them almost like a colubrid, like a corn snake, but they're gonna act a lot like a python, and they say the size of, well, a house snake. And I'm gonna keep some just as pets. I mean, all my animals kind of get treated like pets because we take care of them, which you should be doing no matter how many animals you have, by the way, but we don't have enough where, you know, I need to hire 20 staff in order to take care of them. I'm gonna set some of these up in enclosures. I might make an enclosure build video for one of these guys. Maybe I'll make a care video at the end of the year when I have a little bit more experience, but I think that I'm in it for the long haul with house snakes. I like them. I've messed around with them every time I go to Garrett's place. Now that I have them and I've been handling them for a bit, they're one of my favorite species. I absolutely adore them. And I think house snakes might be the next big thing in reptiles. And by that, I mean, the last 3 years I did predictions of what's gonna be big this year. House snakes have been on the list. This is your year, house snakes. This is your year. A big thanks to Ship Your Reptiles again for doing this. Everything showed up perfect, no complaints whatsoever. And a big thanks to Garrett for setting this whole thing up, and thanks for sending me the extra albino as well. If you've never got the opportunity to watch Reach Out Reptiles, first of all, just do that. It's free. It's a great channel. And the way that he takes care of animals is fantastic, and that's why I was so excited to do this through Garrett. And if I ever were to get back into retics, which probably not, it would be through Garrett too, because he's got the most incredible snakes that I've ever seen. Plus, if you like Garrett, we do have another collab coming up in July, where we're making a pretty cool enclosure. But until then, please hit like and subscribe, really appreciate it. Patreon, you guys knew about this earlier. I've been talking about this for months, basically. Videos early, discounts on merch, all that and more. And because I do videos on Mondays and Thursdays, that means I'll see you in the next one.